Don't this hit make my people wanna? Don't this hit make my people wanna?
Watch the series finale of X-Men next Saturday morning. Check your local listings.
It won't take long when there's a song to help you set the pace.
It's just pathetic.
Where we used to live. Why did you keep the mousetrap?
So whistle while you work.
Life could be worse.
This is the worst. This is the worst. This is the worst. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the Disney stock just keeps going down and down and down.
I'm bag of pixie dust. Contraband.
Join in, folks. It's yodeling time.
They're going to do the Mary Poppins thing. They're going to do it. They're going to do it.
It's such fun to hum a happy working song. A happy working song.
Magic mirror on the wall. The fairest one of all.
Oh, bitch, you killed Kenny.
Kenny.
You fat hoe.
I get it. I'm not persecuted. I'm just an ass.
If you haven't subscribed to Lorraine yet and you're watching this, you suck.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Reina Creole, and of course, bringing you that spice when it comes to sci-fi and pop culture analysis. And of course, I always keep it real when it comes to theme parks. And welcome to the Spice Lounge, where we give you those spicy takes and hot conversation around the current happenings in pop culture this week, today, this minute. It's all ebbing and flowing, but at the crux, like a bad penny that keeps turning up. Our main topic today is, of course, Hollywood just cannot seem to figure out that insulting us fans is the way to go. And now they're like, why are we losing money? I don't know, we're losing money. I don't know, we're losing money. Yeah. You know why you're losing money. Yeah. Because we refuse to kneel. But we are going to get into that. We're going to get into Rachel Zegler basically saying in so many words, I don't know why you don't like what I said. And we'll also get into, Jodie Turner basically saying, why isn't Disney doing enough to protect their people or the actors from you so-called racist fan? Well, apparently I'm one of those racist fans, so I'm going to clap back at Miss Jodie Turner Smith and a lot of you in Lucasfilm who are probably watching, who ignore me when I call you out on your nonsense. Yeah, we're going to be talking about that, but first off, I want to apologize if you hear some blowing noise in the background. Apparently, I decided to, where I live, decided to have some plumbing problems. So, overflowing toilets. And I've got blowers going around the background. So that's why I sound like I'm at the airport. But things could be much worse. So there is that. Things could be worse. There are people running for higher ground in West Florida. So, Southwest Florida, you guys stay safe. We've got a lot of stuff going on here. People, getting supplies, helping each other to get to safety, and a governor who is just killing it. So, frankly, I would really like it, if not to get political, but I will. Ukraine, you need to send us back that money. I'm just saying. Just saying. As a as a U.S. taxpayer, yeah, you freaking owe us. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Let me bring in one of my co-hosts, Erica of Hanging Up Eric with Erica and Rob. How you doing, my dear?
Doing good. Can I just say something?
Oh, please do.
Show me the money. Money, money, money.
Show me the money. Say it louder. Show me the money. That's why you're still my agent. Oh man, it's crazy, isn't it? I mean, I look out, just it's different, and you know, because you have family that live in the state here in Florida, how it is when there's hurricanes and people trying to get what they need and get where they need to go and get their resources, and just how much manpower and mental energy and all that it is to get people safety to handle these hurricanes.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, we have a government saying, we don't have enough FEMA money for you because
I have my older son is in the Florida National Guard.
God bless him.
Yeah. And
God bless him.
He was on hurricane duty, but called back because the grandbaby was born.
Ooh, congrats.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Congrats. Oh. You know what? You have a boy or grand?
It's a boy this time. We have a granddaughter, and now we have a grandson.
Oh, so you got one each.
Yeah, we have one each. I know, right? So much fun.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good. They're so cute. They're so cute.
But I know he's safe. They're in a hospital, so
okay, good. Yeah.
When I texted him to say, "Hey, are you on hurricane duty?" He's like, I was. And I got called back because the baby, and I was like, oh. So I'm in the hospital.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
I don't think.
Mm-hmm. Yes, like that commercial. It's our money, and we need it now. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And I saw somebody else said something. Yeah, foreign countries need to send our money back. You know what I find interesting? And yes, I am going to throw this out there. Why does it seem like whenever there's some kind of emergency around the world, and we do this because we're Americans, we're generous, we, with money and resources, go to help places where we can. But when something pops off in America, I'm really not seeing stuff coming from other countries. Not saying that, we necessarily ask for that, but it would be nice. Just saying. Just saying.
Yeah, I hear you.
Just saying. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, speaking of knowing what we're saying, and I'm surprised he's backstage, but I'm glad he's here. Ron from Follow the Bradley's Fun. I know he's been streaming all day today. How you doing, my dear?
I'm tired. I'm very tired.
I bet all that walking.
It was, the parks were actually nice today. It was challenging to try and figure out how it was weird on the pro show. I kept thinking, because I was on WDW Pro, I kept looking over my shoulder for security.
That's why?
Because pro can be slightly critical sometimes of Disney.
You know what?
So
I'm like, yeah, listen to me. Case in point, right? So last night, not to cut you off, but I got to tell this story. So I was out at the Magic Kingdom last night, as you all know. So I go over to, Tiana's Broccoli Mountain, or Broccoli Hill, as Ron has that lovely song about. And you've got two people there looking like, oh, this is so great. I'm just thinking there's just law dropping down or something going on. So I'm talking to the stream and I'm like, yeah, I find this real interesting. Why is this not running when the park has 2 more hours of operation to go? And this attraction has not run in a steady state ever since it opened. And keeping aside those of us who were just like, this was a bad idea to freaking begin with, the people who want to experience this attraction can't do it because Disney can't get the crap together.
No, it's
people walked
crazy.
off, and I said, was it something I said?
Oh, golly.
Oh, it's something else. Don't worry, because sometimes, usually, there's someone who's thinking the same thing that you're saying, but they don't. They don't really say that, or they will say it out loud. Like one of my streams last night, I thought this was supposed to be a magical place.
I was wondering what the commotion was because I was kind of in and out.
Well, what happened? And I see you guys coming all in here. Good to see you. So what had happened was, and yes, folks, we'll get to the topic. That's kind of like how we do. I should probably put this up here while I'm talking with what's going on with respect to the parks. Well, anyway, we're watching the Happily Ever After fireworks, okay? And it's bad enough that you've got cast members. Usually cast members will say, ladies and gentlemen, we want to watch the fireworks. Very pleasant when talking to you, right? No, it's please stay behind the yellow tape line. Stay behind the yellow tape line. Please do not go under the rope. Please don't go under the rope. Do not go under the rope. I'm like, oh my God. We can't even experience the fireworks because you're too busy with this power trip yelling at guests.
Jeez.
It was the most
You know what's really weird today is the whole thing with cast members is very convoluted because you get it's kind of weird. You have really, really great cast members, like the ones that you're used to. And then you have the total opposite. And it's like, this is so weird. It's like, you can tell they were trained at different times and where it's not cohesive anymore. Like that experience that I had at, the Odyssey the other night, Friday night, when I couldn't get a single cast member to just give me a freaking cup so I could go to the fountain and get water. Like not even a cup of water, but a cup to get water. Every single one of them for 3 cast members in a row would not give me. I'm like, the cups are literally right in front of you. I pointed them out. And I was getting a little angry because I was saying, this is Disney, right? You are Disney cast members, right? Anyway, I went. Finally, one in a red shirt came out. I'm like, okay, he's got to be a manager. And I went up to him, nicely said, excuse me, but could I please just get a cup to go over to that fountain and grab some water? And all the other ones looked at him like, we're not supposed to do that. I'm like, yeah, you are supposed to do that. You are freaking Disney cast members. Do you think you're still working at your Walmart job?
Dude, you're like my sister wasn't there. Ooh, she would have.
Yeah,
She would have taken. Actually, when she went with my niece months ago, her daughter. She literally had to talk to 4 different cast members and take them down training lane one by one. And see, my sister has this beautiful ability to rip you a new one without us just so much raising her voice, and it is just the most wonderful gift she has. And she can come off pretty freaking condescending, but she only uses that side of her when she has to. And I can't even imitate her look, her tone, because it's just her. And yeah, she told me that story, and I was like, oh man. I said, I bet they felt about that big by the time you were done with them. She goes, oh yeah, and I spoke to their managers. I'm like, well, of course you did, because you're not stupid. You're not anyone's fool. You worked there for 12 years. You know where to go.
I mean, these people, if you hear it last night, hey CJ, you say the pine's better. If you would have, you listened to my stream last night, I was getting really pissed off with that. because it's
Yeah,
like
I
we
noticed.
cannot.
Yeah.
We pay people pay all this money. I mean, I'm a local,
I didn't
so
pay for your
it's
rudeness.
different. It's like people pay and they're waiting there to watch, trying to listen to the fireworks, and they have to hear you being on a power trip, yelling at people, telling them where to stand at. I have never seen that kind of behavior from cast members ever. On top of that, you've got guests who act like they don't know what common courtesy is. And that's why I'm like, you need to learn how to use the word excuse me. I think I did. I was very unqueen like, but didn't care because it's ridiculous. And yes, Disney, that survey that you just sent me yesterday. Ooh.
Oh, yeah, oh boy.
Oh,
Oh, can I
wait
get a
until you
copy?
get this from me. Oh, yes, I will have to send. I will have to. Well, I have to send screenshots if I can. There's no liability or whatever about their cast members because it is ridiculous how unprofessional so many of them are. It's not a small percentage because you always have a small percentage
No, it's getting
of
bad.
people who don't do right. But yes, it is bad and it is obvious. It's so freaking obvious. Um, yeah, I was. Y'all heard it last night. Ooh, and plus, I think some of them saw me when I gave them the look. Okay, I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna go away from her. Backing out. Well, my hurricane prep is pretty much done. I'm just putting out trash and everything. But I don't really have to go to pick up anything. Although I found myself at the Target and was like, oh, pallets of water. Okay, I'll grab 2 of these and take them with me to go. But first of all, 30 of you folks in here. And speaking of what's going on with the hurricanes, like Ron was saying, what I was saying, the parks are open. Although tomorrow, I know Universal is closing at 2, so there will not be Halloween Horror Nights tomorrow night or Thursday night. I think the Disney parks are closing at. I think they're closing at 2 as well.
There's
No, actually,
1 and 2.
one because they don't they don't want pass holders hopping into the parks after 2. So I did see that. So that's what's going on. That's what's going on there. And another thing about some people are asking how can they help with hurricane relief. So one of the things, and I have it actually as a pinned comment, if you can please donate to Samaritan's Purse, because not only are they helping here in Florida, but they're helping also up in North Carolina as well. And the majority of your donation does go towards the actual relief activities. And if you don't want to do that and you kind of like some really, really great smells, if you go over here to Magic Candle Company, and they are a local, they're a local company, local to the Orlando area. They do white label products, which you'll see at Universal and SeaWorld and all of that. If you go to Magic Candle Company and you use my affiliate link, and it's also down in the description box as well, your girl gets a commission. And any commissions that I get for this month that are paid to me by Magic Candle Company, if you go and you order, I will send those funds to Samaritan's Purse and will provide proof of that. So you kind of get like a double shot. Help out a local company who Disney went with Scentsy instead of going with them. Yeah, I'm sorry, and what?
And I bought like $80 worth of stuff from them. And now you've got an affiliate. I'm like, dang, I could have ordered from you. You could have gotten a commission off of me.
It's okay. You told me. I'm like, affiliate, what? Applied. And, they accepted me. So,
snooping. I was like, wait a second.
No worries. So, you know what? Next time, because they will have the Black Friday sales, go through and order. If you miss that smell of Splash Mountain, order the Splash fragrance. Y'all think I'm kidding me, but no, they actually do have, and I have this in every kind of incarnation that there is possible. The Splash set, it will bring back happy memories of Splash Mountain. So
I ordered the Tiana spray, and it smells like rotting broccoli. It's I'm kidding. Just kidding, everybody. It was a joke. Just for the record.
Hey, Temptation. Good seeing you. Good seeing you. But
Somebody would say it smells like your bio. But okay, bio means your organic waste, by the way. So,
biohazard.
but I mean, bio. They call it bio.
But yeah, folks, this site, Magic Candle Company, if you can't go to the parks, they have these amazing scents that, you know, evoke memories of the parks, especially Splash and especially Pirate Life and especially Haunted. It smells like Haunted Mansion.
I got Haunted and I got Main Street Autumn.
Oh, you will
Those are
love
the two
Autumn
I
on
got.
Main Street.
Wait. Does Pirate Life smell like that new cologne that Johnny Depp hawks?
No.
Like, ooh, will I smell Johnny? Oh, I want some Johnny Depp in my house.
Well, it smells like bromine. It really does. It smells like Pirates of the Caribbean. And they do have a pirate rum fragrance because they do pump the smell of rum through that extraction. So
I was just gonna ask, does it smell like rum? Is it like a rum scent there?
There's also
pirate rum, yes.
There's also a fire scent similar to Spaceship Earth in Pirates, you know, when you go through the fire part of it. So you get that bromine and the fire scent together. It's really nice. It's actually really nice.
Mm-hmm.
I love smelling Pirates. It sounds weird.
Meg B
awesome.
says Haunted is amazing. Yes, it is.
Oh, yeah,
and Ron and plus Tom, yes, it does smell like rum. It is, let's see, pirate banana rum. No, that's exactly what it smells like in the attraction. So go through there, check out the site. My affiliate code link is in the description box. And again, any and all commissions that I get for sales through that, once they give me the payout for October, I will forward those on to Samaritan's Purse. And yes, so many people are talking about Samaritan's Purse and folks who have actually had family members who have volunteered through Samaritan's Purse. They've been around for quite some time. And I love being able to write them a check, send them money. They do such good work. Yeah, I know. I'm an enabler. And yes, the Tiki Room scent, definitely check out the Tiki Room scent. So folks, please do consider doing that. And speaking of the Tiki Room,
they don't have one for Tiki Room under new management, do they?
Oh, God forbid. Shame on you for bringing that up.
I never saw that one.
What are you doing here in the stupid Tiki Room?
Oh my gosh. That, when I first saw that, I was like, what the heck happened and what was wrong with these people? And didn't it catch fire? I was like, even God doesn't want this.
Yago.
God doesn't even want this thing to go. But yeah, great memories that, unlike what we can say for this over here, but we might as well get to the good stuff, especially as we may not have Ron for a whole lot longer. Coming from Forbes, and Paul Tassi is not one of my favorite people because he seems to get his boxers in a bunch when we fans legitimately criticize everything from Star Wars to gaming and, you know, and all of that. But apparently he kind of seemed to reel himself in on this one a little bit, not a whole lot. The Acolyte star blasts Disney for not protecting its cast. So this is Jodie Turner Smith down here. And for those of you who do not know who she is, she appeared in The Acolyte. I would hardly say that she was a star because I believe that was Amanda Stenberg's position. But this is also the chick who was the race-swapped Anne Boleyn. Do you guys know that?
Did she say? Did she the one that said yes? Or is that somebody else?
Oh,
I don't know. I didn't watch the show yet. I'm gonna have to. I'm being forced to watch the show, but I'm doing it for charity
Oh,
in
the
November.
power of many. I don't remember. All I know is she's not a bad actress. She's not a bad actress by any means. She just happens to be in some stuff where it's just like, why? It makes zero freaking sense. Now, it's one thing to be in a show like this and you're just like, hey, I'm just glad for the opportunity. It was a paycheck. Peace out. I'm done. But no, Mama. Oh, okay. Okay. Mama. Yes. Okay. Okay. Mama. Yes. All right. So all I know is this was freaking awful. It was absolutely awful. But apparently, she is complaining about Disney for not protecting its cast members. And you guys let me know what you think, because I keep hearing this a lot about, oh, you have to protect your cast members. I don't remember anybody, like, say, protecting the likes of Denzel Washington or him even asking for this. But
in what way? No, I just don't get in what way are they supposed to protect them from what? I'm like, are they in any physical danger, or is it just, like I grew up with the whole saying, sticks and stones break my bones, words will never hurt me, meaning that if you put yourself out there, you just have to know you're going to get criticized, whether it's fair or unfair. But if it's just words, there's no protection against that. It's just words. I mean, that's stupid.
But here's the thing, Ron. It's the wrong words. It's the wrong words. This is the crux of it. It is the wrong words coming from the wrong people. But let's read on, because I've been waiting to chomp at this one. So, fans continue to mourn the cancellation of Star Wars: The Acolyte.
What fans?
Who's mourn? Thank you. Thank you.
No, it's all the YouTubers that want to make fun of it. We're just sad that it's gone because, that's more views.
And back to your point, Ron, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words never hurt me. Or my favorite saying is, opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one. Get over it.
Yeah.
True story.
Stop complaining, But this just shows you. I remember when television acted way, way, way back in the day, when Hollywood cared about quality, and most television stars were like, hey, I'm just glad you watch our stuff. When I get a paycheck, I'm happy about that. But now we have this situation that's been going on, I want to say, ever since 2016. And when they talk about fans continue to mourn, is it the fans that like that dysfunctional relationship between OSHA and, I don't know?
They don't mean the fans. They're
Kylo
talking
Ren.
about themselves, the cast, but they want to project.
Exactly. What fans? Do you know what I did when I heard this show got canceled?
Thank God.
I was live streaming at Hollywood Studios, and to celebrate, I went to Oga's Cantina. And I had a Bespin Fizz, and we called it Kathleen Kennedy's ulcer. I said, I am here celebrating that the Acolyte got canceled. And I know everybody heard me when I was in there, because I was not silent at all. And I'm talking to folks. I'm like, yeah, I'm glad that freaking show got canceled. It's absolutely horrible. And I find it very ironic that I'm here in Oga's Cantina, which is to me, the only good thing, semi-good thing about Galaxy's Edge, aside from, the Millennium Falcon. I'm like, forget that. I'm so glad this freaking show is over, because your regular Star Wars fans, or even your Star Wars normies, or like, I don't know what this freaking show is about. I'm out. Star Wars, diehard Star Wars fans are like, this show is trash. I don't see why the heck I want to watch it. And no one asked for it. No one asked for it whatsoever. So fans continue to mourn. You mean the ones who wanted to do that GoFundMe? Not GoFundMe. The change.org petition. I'm like, to do what?
There's that one, but there is a GoFundMe too. There was like two things going on.
Really?
There was someone, I saw some kind of like money being raised. They raised like what, a whopping $2,200.
Wow, 2,200, really?
Yeah, but then there was,
Wow.
I think there were like two. One they had raised 2,200, but then there was the original one that I had talked about weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
and that one was only like what, a couple of $100 in or something at that point. And they're not getting anywhere. I mean, it's just
No.
they're delusional.
This show was such garbage. There was, and Ron, correct me if I'm wrong, there was zero merchandise for this show in the parks.
I've never seen any merchandise for that show anywhere. I don't like. I was kind of looking for. You know how they have those little box sets, like when you go in the parks and they have mini figurines of the characters, and there'll be like 8 to 12 different characters in those little boxes. You know what I'm talking about? Like they're plastic, and you look inside. Okay. So I was looking for one that said lesbian witches of Star Wars, but I couldn't find it. and you would think that would be like a big deal. like on the box it would say the power of one, the power of two, the power of many.
Power of many. Yeah. I watched like 2 episodes. I said, I can't subject all to that. And I tried to watch one more episode. I'm like, the hell with this freaking show. I absolutely freaking hate this darn show.
That's how I feel about Agatha, but I'm still having to watch it for the after party things.
I can't. I was like, y'all can have it. Y'all can have it.
Episodes in, and then I haven't watched. Are they on the 4th one yet, or is the 3rd one?
Yeah, it'll be the 5th episode this week on Agatha.
5th, dang.
Yeah.
Jeez, I'm like.
I'm still watching Daredevil, and Penguin's really good.
Penguin is really good.
Something's
really good.
The hardest part, if you watch through the Daredevil story, the hardest part of it is having to watch the Defenders. It's not horribly bad, but the Defenders, it's not a great storyline, but it's part of Matt's story, so you kind of have to see it. But man, going back to Daredevil, it's like, why can't this was a decade ago? Why can't they make Marvel shows or Star Wars shows this good? Why do I have to go back a decade to get a good show?
Because they decided to take a boy brand and feminize it
big time, and they forgot. They missed the money, because remember. This I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And I just don't understand Disney's like psychology behind all of this. We're gonna acquire these 2 brands that are geared for boys, because we want to have something for boys, and then years down the road you just completely say boys suck, and you want to take males and completely just destroy them, and create all female everything across the board. And it's just like, okay, well,
you're doing the same thing to the princesses when you take a princess story and you try to make the princess a strong female character.
Yeah, she has to be the heroine. She can't be the damsel in distress,
Well, but it's even different than that.
A girl desire, her knight in shining armor. I hate to burst your little bubble, Disney, but women actually still desire that very much from a man.
Exactly. And that's why the princess franchise has just gone in the freaking garbage, because they forgot where the money comes from.
Boys like
The
to
source
see
of the
that
money.
too. Boys like to see that too because boys like to pretend to be the Prince Charming. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, there's
Mhm.
a person in every story for the story. When you start changing the traditional, what did I say? So somebody posted something so funny earlier. It was a big it was on Facebook, and they posted this. It was an advertisement for a mini marathon for gender equality. Okay, it said and literally all of this was on the same sign: mini marathon for gender equality, women's 5K, men's 10K.
Oh my
for
gosh.
for gender equality.
Gender equality.
And you know, in the
Ah,
military, the standards for PT or physical fitness is still
mhm.
different, and it's even different based on your age too.
I tell you, I'll have to get back into another reason about why, and I did this before. I had a video out that basically says without toxic males, the Disney Princess franchise fails miserably. You'll have to go back and check that out. But it is, you have a group of people who think that it's wrong for boy brands to make money the way that boy brands traditionally do. And people who understand merchandising and people who understand storytelling, which is what Disney used to have on its board and it no longer does, that's the crux of it. But to get back to this interview, there's so many nuggets in this. So apparently she did this big huge interviewing Glamour, which is a trash rag. I remember when I used to buy Glamour when it was actually worth something. Remember you buy Glamour and had these gorgeous outfits and stuff in it and fluff articles, and it was just fun to just sit and read. And now yeah. Anyway, fourth wave feminism. Anyway, so Jodie Turner-Smith, who played Mother Anastasia on The Acolyte, spoke extremely candidly about the situation, which resulted in harassment of members of the staff, especially star Amanda Stenberg. See, here's my thing. I'm going to go down here. I'm going to read this first, and I'm going to give you guys some more background. If that's just implying a lack of effort on Disney's part, she goes on to be much more explicit. Quote, they've got to stop doing this thing where they don't say anything when people are getting effing dogpiled on the internet with racism and BS, she said. It's just not fair to say anything. It's really unfair. Okay, so number one, okay. Anytime somebody calls me a racist on Twitter, I retweet that ish. Why? Because I want you to see proof of what's going on. And unfortunately now, racism is a serious charge. But yet you have folks throwing that term around as if it was nothing. Oh, you don't like this character. That character is black, so you're racist. And this is their rationale. And you'll hear this about, well, we're getting racist messages. Okay, well, where are they? Receipts, or shut the heck up. I'm not saying it's not possible. What I'm saying is, if I was getting racist messages, trust and freaking believe you would be seeing them all over the place. Who they were from, who said it. I wouldn't even redact it. I'll put your name out there. You said such and such. This is the message that went out. So how come the likes of Amanda Stenberg or Jodie Turner-Smith claiming this stuff? Well, you say it's racism, but you have zero proof. How freaking dare you?
Is it bad that I think it's nameism?
Nameism?
Yeah, her name is Amanda. Her name is Amanda, not Amanda. I'm like, I can't deal with that name, Amanda.
Trying to be different. I mean, I'm not really going to harp on that.
I'm just kidding. I'm just giving her a hard time.
I know. I have to laugh. I have to laugh because my name is my government name. It was so hard to pronounce. People would get it wrong repeatedly, and the way my mom would pronounce it, it made my ears hurt. I moved to Florida, If anybody with any kind of Latino background pronounces my name, it sounds exactly like my mom intended it. It's freaking uncanny to the point now where I pronounce it that way when I have to give my name. It just solves things. Lorena needs to give it a chance before it gets canceled. Oh, I gave it a chance. I gave it 3 chances. Actually gave it 4. It just was not for me. See, here's the thing that I will do, or that I won't do, that some folks in the quote unquote anti-woke sphere will do. I will not tell you what you should watch. I will not do that because that is none of my business. If you like it, you sit there and watch it. I like 90 Day Fiance. That is my freaking guilty pleasure. Although of late, the couples have been so freaking boring. I don't even care. It's not the hot train wreck. You watch what you like and you enjoy it. I just tell you what I think about it. I mean, if I think it's dog crap, I'll call it dog crap. But if you like it, you just go ahead and like it. I'm not going to tell you not to, because that's none of my business. And that's not my place. You know, it's really not. Yes, save them receipts. See, this is what I'm talking about. Racism is too serious of a charge to just throw it out there as if it's the flavor of the week. And this is what these people do. And you have the likes of Paul Tassi and others in the press who will give these people passes to do that. And it really is disingenuous. It's disgusting. And it covers up what real racism actually is. So
here's my question. She wants all this protection from basically name calling. And how exactly does she propose that a studio goes about that without it hindering on our constitutional right to free speech, which is my opinion?
Well, Jodie Turner-Smith, forgive me, y'all. Jodie Turner-Smith is British. And there's too many of them. And I'm going to say, I did not grow up in Britain. I did not know that. But there's some people, especially seem to be British and Canadian, who do not understand what free speech is, why we have it in this country. And first of all, why should you care what other people think?
Yeah, exactly. And it's not going to change anyone's opinion. You can, I mean, even if you quote cancel them online, are you actually converting them over to you? No, you're not. So you're still not getting anywhere. Just because you're not hearing it or reading it doesn't mean that people still aren't standing by their opinion, which is in opposition to yours. So it goes back to just get over it. Not everyone's going to like what you're in, what you write. It is what it is. You know, entertainment is subjective.
And oh, go ahead, Ron.
I was going to say I had a religious leader at church one time, and he's a pretty casual guy. His ball cap said right across the front of it, "Get over it." That was his 3 favorite words as a religious leader. He's like, man, you got to get over it. You got to let it go. You got to come on now, man. Why? You know what? She needs to take the advice of some people's favorite Disney princess and just let it go.
Let it go.
She doesn't know how to do that because she's been conditioned to behave this way. And she's giving herself permission to behave this way based on how she's been groomed and conditioned. And I mean, and that probably goes a lot deeper than I can even speak to. But I mean, you don't just wake up one day and start talking like that, and in your mental reasoning, like this is something that I don't know.
I think I noticed that the atmosphere changed. I don't remember a time when British actors were so butthurt. Usually, I always tell people, used to be back in the day, nobody can throw shade quite like the British. I mean, you want to talk about some serious burns. That's what I am used to. So I'm not used to the butthurt British actors and actresses who act as if just because you say, you know, hey, that show is just not all that freaking good, and because of X, Y, and Z, and oh well, you're racist, you're phobe, whatever. I think a lot of it has to do with I won't say the studio's coddling them, but they don't know when to keep their mouths shut. If they also not only keeping their mouths shut, but knowing in the end who winds up paying them. It comes from the people who see their show or whatever. Used to be back in the day, okay, you know, again, like some Star Trek conventions, Star Wars conventions, you had your actors who you knew they were bleeding heart liberals, but they just loved the fans. But they never talked down to the fans. That's the thing. They never did. And this, they talk about us fans as if we're something stuck on the bottom of their shoe. So to continue with what she said here, Ms. Jody Turner Smith, it would just be nice if the people who have all the money, whether that be Disney or any studio, were showing their support and putting their feet down, she said, saying, this is unacceptable. You're not a fan if you do this. Make a really big statement and just see if any money leaves. I bet you it won't, because people of color and especially Black people make up a very large percentage of buying power. They might find that it's actually more lucrative for them, but everyone's using woke like it's a dirty word. Who wants first crack at this?
I gotta reread this. Hang on.
Well, I'll tell you. I'll start from the quote up here in the first part. Okay, it would just be nice if the people who have all the money, whether that be Disney or any studio, were showing their support and putting their feet down, she said. So basically, the studio's being a dictator, saying, you can't do this. You can't talk about the show. You can't talk about the show except in the way that we want you to talk about it.
Okay, so
can you imagine?
let me.
I like the second line here where.
Okay, I'm trying. So it sounds to me like what she's saying is, if the fans are calling themselves fans, but they don't like it. Okay, so here's the deal: the fans of Star Wars are fans of Luke, Han, Leia, Lando. The traditional Star Wars characters.
George Lucas Star Wars, not Disney Star Wars.
Right, but my point is that if those are the fans she's talking about, fans are fans because we like something, right? If you don't like something, if I don't like Acolyte, then I am not a fan of the Acolyte Star Wars show property. Okay, so I'm not a fan. So who the heck is she gonna say that Disney should? I mean, it's not Disney's job to go, our fans suck, because the moment you do that, how much more money do you lose than you already have lost by creating a crap show? I mean,
how about the studios? How about the studios making the celebrities put a sock in it, because every time they open their mouths, they lose more money.
And about woke being a dirty word, look, here's the deal. If you make a show and you say our audience is we're making the show for woke people, or that audience, for a liberal audience, or it's going to be like that, it's going to appeal to them, and you say that out front, okay, that's fine, except that for the last 5 decades that Star Wars has been a thing, or 4 decades, whatever it is, 4.5, it hasn't been that. So, I mean, it's just the dumbest thing. That is like somebody who's addicted to chocolate, and you give them blackberries, but you tell them it's chocolate, and they don't like it because it's blackberries, saying, oh no, I'm telling you this is chocolate now. No, that's not how it works.
Well,
by the way, I happen to like chocolate covered blackberries, so
well, I'm going to get into that, because she's got a point, but it's not the right point exactly that she's making. But before I get to that, Bosco Scenario, thank you so much. Gracias, mi hermano, for the $5 Canadian. Those 5 Canadian loonies, or 2 toonies and a loony. Says Reina Creole shows rock. Disney Star Wars, not so much. Hit that like. Well, thank you so very much, my dear, for that. I sure do. I sure do appreciate that. Appreciate the heck out of that so darn much. All right. Matter of fact, I'll hit you with the Lester's Possum Park video. How about that?
This is pathetic.
Join in, folks. It's yodeling time. Here at Lester's.
Elephant green screen effect.
I have to get my my dancing Star Wars videos together. I've got like a ton of them, and oh my gosh, I got to get those out for the super chat. So thank you so very much, and yes, I will say thank you so much, Guy Scar. Sure to appreciate that. Go check out the Bosco Scenario, Guy Scar's channel. He has some awesome stuff going on there. Let's see this other part here. I'm going to get to the woke part. Here she's talking about make a really big statement just to see if any of the money leaves. Like for some reason, if the studios say jump, we're supposed to say how high. It's just like it's like, okay, where do you get off? You don't get to tell me what I'm supposed to say and what I'm not supposed to say, because that winds up getting me blocked a lot, and I don't freaking care. But to go on, first of all, everyone is a person of color. Okay, can we get this out the way? All right. The reason why they use this term people of color is to say there's people of color and then there's white people. Okay. White is a color. Everyone is a person of color. And frankly, it's insulting as all hell when people try to lump all minorities into one group without any kind of nuance to pit them against white people. So that's exactly what this statement is about. It's not about quote unquote people of color. What they mean is minorities. We can put them in a whole mass because it's easier. Remember, it's easier to control the masses than individuals. There's something Marxist in there somewhere about that. I'm pretty sure it is, but that's what they do. And then she talks about especially Black people make up a very large percentage of buying power. Well, what are you talking about? Because I grew up with not a whole lot of Black people watching Star Wars. Okay, that's not the stereotype, but I will, because it's market research. You've got a lot more Black people watching the NBA than Star Wars. Okay, it's just a fact. You've got a lot more white people watching NASCAR.
Yeah,
and Black people. That's the thing. You have a whole lot more Latinos watching Univision, okay, than Americans.
It's Univision.
The realities.
Let me ask this: how many Black people watch Riverdance?
I did.
What that is.
I'm just curious. I like my Riverdance.
I told people anytime somebody tells me, "Oh, white people can't dance," I said, "Yes, you can. I've seen Riverdance. Don't tell that lie."
But the thing is, when I was growing up, I watched all of the Black shows that were on television. I love them. I love Good Times. 227, obviously the Cosby Show. I mean, I didn't care.
They were funny. The scripts were great, and the act.
What happened to the fact that at least late 70s, 80s, and certainly into the 90s, nobody gave a crap about race? As far as I can tell, look, you're not going to stop true people that have that in them. You're not going to stop that. But most people don't really care. So in the last, I would say, decade or so, maybe since around 2008, it just seems like it's popped up and gotten worse and worse and worse. And all I can see is that it's not being used to solve anything, but rather to create more problems in society. It looks to me, and this is my observation, is somebody somewhere in power is attempting to sow division that doesn't actually exist. And that doesn't exist when, like, Lorena can tell you, when you go to Target, when I go to Target, when we go to Walmart, with it doesn't exist. I mean, we're people. We're our neighbors. We don't treat other people differently. We're just people.
I think the reason why, Ron, is because those shows came out at the time when people were willing to be honest about race and race relations. Even outdated stereotypes, they were laughed at because they were outdated stereotypes. And the people who wrote those shows did that to make you think, like shows like All in the Family.
Yeah.
Shows like The Jeffersons. I love George Jefferson, but we all know he was a bigot. But the episode where, oh my gosh, the episode with the Klan members in it, and he gave the Klan member CPR, like mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, and the Klan's member told his son, "I wish you'd let me die instead of having this black man save him." And the son went up to George Jefferson and he said, "Thank you for saving my father." I mean, it's moments like that because they were absolutely real about it. We were willing to be honest about race relations. Now, with all the crap that's been going on lately, people don't want to be honest. They just want to paint this happy idea of what they think it should be, rather than dealing with, one, the honesty, and two, trusting the audience. Because the audience wants that kind of honesty. We want that kind of realism. That's why movies like Bad Boys for Life, the last one, why that did so good, why other movies like that, did so well, as opposed to the quote unquote woke nonsense. But I'll get to this. Everyone's using woke like it's a dirty word. Okay, so again, the term woke originally was meant to bring awareness to injustice. Stuff like Roots, that's one. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie Slumdog Millionaire.
No, I heard of it, but I never saw it.
It put a spotlight on India's caste system and how Dalits are treated in that caste system. And it caused a lot of uproar because you had a good percentage of upper caste Indians saying, "Oh, no, this doesn't happen. It's not true." And it's just like, yeah, it's 100% true. And a lot of people who didn't know about the caste system in India, they were like, wow, that pretty much sucks. That's bringing awareness to injustice. But what you have now with Hollywood, their idea of woke is, guess what? If you don't like this, you're racist. If you don't like what we did with this, you're racist. They call it woke. And then you'll have the extreme quote unquote, anti-woke, who tend to, froth at the mouth and, their head goes around 360 degrees anytime they see that there is a female or there's a minority that's cast. All of a sudden, it's woke, it's this, it's whatsoever. Both sides are throwing this term around without understanding it. They're throwing it around like it's a pejorative. So everyone is using woke like it's a dirty word, including you.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm talking about Miss Jodie Turner-Smith, you are throwing it around as the same pejorative that you don't like.
Oh, but you can't tell them that. You can't point out the hypocrisy now. They don't like that. It's gonna hurt their feelings.
Hurt your feelings, or you'll get blocked. Like Christina Ariel blocked me because she was claiming she was part of, racist harassment. Or harassment. And I said, yeah, well, didn't y'all do that to Gina Carano?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Crickets.
I don't know her, so harassment, nothing to me.
But to kind of wrap up this part before we get on to Rachel Zegler, because this is actually the second part. Apparently, Hollywood thinks that in order to get ahead of this problem with you toxic fans, some studios are putting actors through social media boot camp which could involve taking over their social media entirely or scrubbing internet information to avoid doxing. But also lately, how some studios have been assembling super fan focus groups to indicate what sorts of things people would get mad about in marketing for projects, which can lead to actual changes to the projects themselves. What do you mean by super fan? Are they fans or are they tourists?
No, it's a fan that has superpowers, like probably mutants, most likely, but possibly aliens or possibly people that have some radiation effects. We're reaching out to you as a possible super fan. Have you ever been bit by a radioactive spider?
Is Kylo Ren hot? Yes or no? They probably ask you questions like the look, this whole thing about superfan, it's not what it purports to be. They say superfan, but for example, Rings of Power have these quote unquote super fans on to talk about that show? And didn't it seem like hardly any of them had any freaking idea about who J.R.R. Tolkien was?
I'm sorry, I'm still in the Twilight Zone.
You look.
I'm over here just like.
They weren't super fans. They were fans that had some really bad habits.
I do need that rim shot effect. Yeah. I do. I have to put that on my throne list for my birthday. I do. I'm starting to realize there are these extra things that I need, because I didn't expect that I was going to be doing this on the regular for the longest time. So yeah.
What sorts of things people would get mad about in marketing for projects? So I'm sorry. Are you saying? Oh, we got to be careful what we put in ads because we don't. Am I interpreting that right, or is my brain or my learning disabilities whooping my butt right now?
No, you are, and yes, here we go. Super shills. That's pretty much what this is. When they say super fan focus group, okay, they're not talking about, like, for example, you live, breathe Marvel Comics. All right,
no, I
you
don't.
have read comics for I don't know how long. You know which issue this happened, which issue that happened. If you had to write a Bible about Spider-Man,
nope,
you could do that.
Don't want to.
With like one neuron tied behind your back. But they're not talking about that. They're not talking about that. Their super fan that they're talking about is the kind who go to conventions, they wear the lounge fly bags. They just go to the panels to see, oh my gosh, he's so cute. Or to see Christina Ariel talk about how Lando pretty much just basically is sexual assault, likes to commit stuff like that. And that's pretty much it. That's what they consider to be a super fan. And that's what they want. This is who they want. And even if you say normies, because I would almost agree, but you can be the wrong kind of normie. Like, for example, if they say, Agatha all along. Well, who the heck is that chick? Is she related to the Scarlet Witch? No. Why the heck do I want to see this freaking show?
Can I ask, and I got to go soon, but can I ask a legitimate question? Is it possible that the executives who are in the writing rooms or like they're in charge of the entertainment, do they believe, how do I put this? Okay, so prior to X changing hands, when it was Twitter and it wasn't owned by Elon, there was a it looked like a lot of people, right, on Twitter making noise, making loud noise, saying certain things about certain things, right? But it was basically just one group. In the crux of all of humanity, they were probably a small, tiny percentage. But is it possible that executives actually thought, this is our new audience? This is we have to make the things that these people are going to shout out because other people are listening to them. But in reality, they never really had much of a voice other than the little Twitterverse, right? Because honestly, in when I talk to people out and about, I'm like, hey, are you on X? Or are you at where? People don't really pay that much attention to Twitter. The only people who have ever paid attention to X or Twitter are the users of X and Twitter. And that's not everybody. It's like, yes, I have the social media. I don't pay attention. Maybe I'll check it every once in a while. Like, I don't think the vast majority, a vast high percentage of people are watching that. But it seems like they may have skewed their aim thinking that, okay, this younger crowd, this is what they're into. They're into the social media. So as they come up and as they start making their living, making their money, this is who we want to aim towards because they're the new audience. But really, in reality, they didn't take into account that there is no new audience. There's just new social media. Like, I feel like that's what happened. And because of that, like, Disney's stupid. They lost their core audience. They lost families. They are losing the normies. They are losing families. I go to a park now in Epcot and I'm watching women literally dancing on a pole in the middle of a family park and going and then doing spread eagle on the pole. And I'm going, how is this appropriate? I just think that they are aiming towards an audience that in reality is a fraction, a tiny little fraction of the real audience that exists out there.
It's the audience that they wish they had, that they want to have, and not to keep you on, but although I am with this case in point, and hopefully you guys know this by now, the original vision of Galaxy's Edge was supposed to be the original trilogy. Okay.
Yeah,
that was it. That's what the Imagineers are working on. And then Kathleen Kennedy says, hey, why base this stuff on what 50-year-old white guys want? Don't you want to instead cater to the future? Well, let me tell you about that future. All right. When I'm over in Galaxy's Edge, people are just like, what the heck is this? I have heard people say, where's the old Star Wars? What the heck is this supposed to be? None of this looks like Star Wars. I don't know what the heck this is. They just go, get your picture taken in front of the Millennium Falcon. If Chewie is out, that's a good thing to actually do. People spend time, they're like happy to see that. But other than that, it's just like, why? Yeah. None of this is towards what the core audience of Star Wars is and what the normies know Star Wars to be. But instead, you go for this fringe audience you think Star Wars should be, and you wonder why you're losing money.
And let me ask you something, Lorena. You go as much as I go to both Universal and Hollywood Studios, right? How many people, how packed are the worlds of Harry Potter, the two different ones, by the way, because you've got, in Wizarding World, you've got Hogsmeade and Diagon Alley. How packed are those compared to Galaxy's Edge on any given day?
Oh my gosh. I want to say probably a factor of 10 to 1. And we're talking with less space. You walk into either Diagon Alley or Hogsmeade. No one wants to leave. Okay.
Nope.
Nobody wants to leave. They're there. They're buying butterbeer. They're buying all kinds of swag. They're, using the wand stations. They're going into the attractions. They're eating the food. They're going to the Leaky Cauldron. They're, going to the Three Broomsticks, all in, the gift shops, going to see all the little stage shows that they have. That's the thing. Nobody, hardly anybody wants to leave. And I dare say, when you leave Hogsmeade or you leave Diagon Alley, it is like a shock to the system because you're so immersed in the wizarding world of Harry Potter that even going to another part of the park is just like, wow, it feels like I was a dream that I was in there. Galaxy's Edge, man, it's like you see tumbleweeds rolling around. And Droid Depot is cool too, but that's about it.
There's a reason for that, and that's because Diagon Alley looks like you walked into the frickin' movie, and so does Hogsmeade. And what the hell movie did you walk into when you walked into Galaxy's Edge? Nothing, because it's not in a damn movie. It's so stupid. My theory of Galaxy's Edge, because you know this, in Hollywood Studios, it's different than Disneyland, but in Hollywood Studios, it's adjacent to Toy Story Land, which is supposed to be Andy's backyard. So after Andy got all the really cool toys, his parents couldn't afford a real Star Wars set for him, so they got a knockoff.
Dude, you just described my childhood right there.
And Galaxy's Edge is actually the knockoff Star Wars toy set in Andy's backyard.
I think even Zurg would have a problem with that because Zurg is supposed to be Darth Vader in Andy's mind. That's like his Star Wars, you know. I think Zurg would be like, screw this. I
thought Zurg was old gay Buzz Lightyear.
Man, I got generic My Little Pony, got generic Brown Puppies, but I got the Ewok Village because Dad had to, you know, it was more for him than it was for me.
Gotta have that. But I hope they don't, although I will say I don't have much hope for Star Tours to remain where it is. They better not touch it. But it wouldn't surprise me if they did touch it, because next time, if you're around there, folks, and you're visiting, go to Galaxy's Edge and then go to Star Tours. And you know what the difference is? The same reason that keeps people over at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, the John Williams musical score. You will not hear that in Galaxy's Edge. You will only hear it at Star Tours. And of course, you will hear the Harry Potter theme over in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. It is amazing how those two work. Well, I know, Ron, you've got to get going. So can you please let the folks know where they can find you? What you got coming up besides Storm Prep?
Yeah, I don't really know what I have coming up right now, honestly, because of Storm Prep. I'm going to try to do the Daily Dish tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. And anything that Pro might be asking this week. And honestly, once we get to tomorrow, it's just trying to make it through until Friday, because we don't know what's going to happen here with the storm. But you can find me, just go to Follow the Bradleys Fun on basically any social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, YouTube, and that's how you find me. Follow the Bradleys Fun. That's it.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Ron, for hanging out. Folks, please do make sure that you are following the Bradleys Fun. And of course, we have got the link. Well, I should be, at least by the time this the show is over, a link to Ron's channel in the description box. So thanks so much, Ron, for popping in. You stay safe, my dear.
All right, you're welcome. I'd love to make fun of Rachel Zegler with you, but I'll have to do it on my own. Later.
Bye. Well, first of all, I want to thank Go and Shogi for gifting those 5 Reina Creole memberships. Thank you so very much, my dear. You guys, memberships help keep this channel going with all the content that I, give you guys, the equipment that I get to upgrade because of you guys. And I just love it when you spread the love. Please do be on the lookout, because we are going to be having a Halloween Disney movie watch-a-thon. So we are talking Hocus Pocus. We're talking Halloween Town. We're talking Skeleton Dance, House of Villains, Trick or Treat. We are just going to have absolute blast. So be on the lookout for that. So that said, oh Lord, 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 Rachel Zegler. It seems not too long ago, Erica had fun ripping this chick a new.
Oh, I'm ready for round 3. Are we on round 3? You know, I
I
read this
believe.
article. Well, this is a rundown of the Variety article, right?
Yes, yeah. So
Yeah, I
this
read
one's
that
more
Variety article.
concentrated. Yeah, I wanted to bang my head against the door
Yeah, me too.
reading through that.
Is it just me, or is the timing is interesting to me? Because you got this article that came out by Variety with Rachel, and then you got the other chick over here that we were just talking about. And it's just funny how it's coming out at the same time, and it's pretty much in the same topic of this, toxic fandom, and my feelings are hurt, yet nobody likes the show that I'm in.
No, it is not a coincidence. As since I've been in this, I'll say in this business, this is space since like 2020, there are cycles that will run, especially when certain shows are rightfully panned by fans, shunned by fans. And just in case some of you are thinking, you're just making this up, because I know some of you watch out there, you're making this stuff up. Well, let me tell you something. Numbers don't lie.
Yeah,
Which is why I love going over here to Nielsen. If you go to Nielsen.com, you can look at the data for television, advertising, games. But we are looking at streaming. So if you look here, this is from September 2nd to September 8th. All right, overall. Do you see Agatha?
They're not even on the list. Jeez.
Agatha,
but somehow that's the toxic fans' fault that it didn't make the list.
I guess so. All you fans who were watching The Perfect Couple or Rebel Ridge, which I wanted to see, Prison Break. I remember that. That show was yummy. I hadn't seen it in a long time. Rings of Power's there. Bluey's always there. The Deliverance I didn't really watch. But if you go back over here, so we'll say original. Do you see anything by Disney?
Didn't make that list either.
I do.
Jeez.
That was Rings of Power number 5. You know what I think it is? It's just like, well, there's nothing else to watch. I guess okay. I guess maybe I'll watch it. Because look at the difference in minutes between The Perfect Couple, which looked really good. I think,
I haven't even heard of that one.
What's her name? Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman. I was just going to say Tom Cruise's ex-wife. Nicole Kidman is in it. And I've seen the trailers for it. It looks good. It doesn't look like my cup of tea. Like, how you see stuff where you're just like, I don't think that's my cup of tea, but overall it looks pretty interesting.
Yeah,
that's what The Perfect Couple is like. Chaos, I didn't watch, even though Jeff Goldblum is in it. Well, that got canceled. Spoiler alert. There's not going to be another season of that one. Mm-hmm. Worst Ex Ever, I freaking loved. It's been out there for about 3 weeks. Basically, horror stories about ex-boyfriends, ex-wives, ex-girlfriends. Produced by Blumhouse Productions. So they've got like really scary animation and stuff. It's good. I freaking love it. If you are a true crime junkie, and I am, the Worst Ex Ever was really, really freaking good.
Okay, I do like true crime. I do like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, watch Worst Ex Ever. I mean, it's just like, damn, is this for real? You're like literally sitting on your seat watching. At least I did. Because I couldn't wait for that to come out. I had it like alert me when it comes out. So I went and watched it as soon as it came out. Even here with stuff that's acquired. Well, granted, Rings of Power was new, and granted, they didn't really acquire anything for Star Wars. I mean, still, I've seen nothing from Marvel. Nothing. Disney Plus. I think the only thing Disney Plus has on here is Bluey, and they don't even freaking own Bluey.
Yeah, that's not even like Disney. It's not created by Disney.
No, which is probably why it's so good. I've watched Bluey. I have totally watched it, but yeah, this is the numbers don't lie. Okay, so I guess these are all
It's still your fault.
It's like with fans are getting a howler from Hollywood. Go and Chogi, thank you so much for that $4.99 super chat, my dear. I appreciate you, so generous tonight. So Zegler is the cat that's pushing the vase off the counter. We're just watching her do it. Yeah, like in Secret Life of Pets. And cup to the butt and kick. And you kick it on the keyboard. But to get to what's here, so from the New York Post, and this article pretty much just summarizes that really long, vacuous PR piece, fluff piece for Rachel Zegler. Don't read it. You read this one instead. Snow White reboot star Rachel Zegler responds to backlash over her comments criticizing the original 1937 film. Made me sad. So, I guess Rachel is sad that we called her out about how she said the 1937 film with the prince stalking Snow White was weird. I need that clip. I need that clip there.
So our phone number is Tampa number, and I just got an emergency alert for Hillsborough County. They're evacuating Zone A. My sister's in D, thank God. But just so you guys know, they are starting evacs. They have to be out by 7 a.m. Due to the storm surges, and especially if you're in a mobile home.
Oh yeah, mobile home.
Yeah,
you definitely have to. You have to up and go. So so that zone is probably the one that's closest to the water there.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to grab that because it's at Hillsborough County, and I was like,
oh no, that
is Hillsborough
okay.
County. If you see me disappear off the stream, be like, it's family emergency. Oh,
thank you. Yeah, it is. It's in the path. Orlando here. There's a reason why Walt built his park inland. There's a reason why. So here it's mostly high winds. I know when Ian came through, I didn't lose power because our power lines are buried. Fiber internet is buried. I did lose cell coverage and internet. It was really weird about internet. I think they were prioritizing internet for like first responders or something like that because it's like we could get on, but not really. It was kind of weird. But I am second floor on purpose. My HOA, they're a bunch of Karens, but I will tell you this much. They've got really nice drainage around here. So everything's planned really, really well. So I'll just be at the top floor, just like, how you doing? How you doing at Professor X? Like, I want that wind to stop.
My parents are in a condo in Bradenton. They're only 10 minutes from Anna Maria, but they are on the 4th floor, and I think they're in a building that either the 4th floor is the top or it's 5 floors. I forget because they switched buildings. Before they were on the 6th floor. they were on the very top of a different building, but then they bought another condo and wanted to change buildings, whatever, the whole thing. But they should be okay. I don't know. I still worry because the families never lived so close to the coastline. We've always lived more inland, like in Brandon. You know, Brandon's been pretty blessed over the years not to really get hit so hard.
Right.
But now they're down in Ruskin and Bradenton, and it's just like, okay.
If you haven't been there before, it's gorgeous to drive over when you're driving, you know, over the bridges and everything, especially like the Sunshine Skyway and places like that. And the water looks great. But Sunshine Skyway.
Oh God.
Woo!
I will avoid it like the plague. When it's just,
I'm crazy. I will actually drive that sucker. I was like, this is so freaking cool. I'm nuts though. I'm nuts. But to go back to Rachel, y'all remember this trailer?
Of course. How could we forget?
1.2 million downvotes on this trailer.
1.2 million to like, was it 93,000?
93K upvotes. Yeah, I said this trailer's so bad I'm rooting for the evil queen. I can't. They're probably like, you need to shut up. But it was true though. I mean, you know, a movie is bad. Like I always say, like the Jurassic Park movies, when they're so bad, I'm rooting for the raptors just eat everybody, you know.
Oh gosh, yeah.
That's just it's just bad. But it's like, it's not just me. There's 1.2 million toxic fans who basically rejected this nonsense. This is not the Snow White that we know. It's not the Snow White that we've heard of. It's not the Snow White that we've read about. I actually have a compilation of the Brothers Grimm fairy tales about Snow White. It's just like, come on. You're trying to, in the words of Judge Judy, don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining.
Sounds like her.
Freaking love Judge Judy. Oh my God, I love her.
Oh gosh.
I love her to death. But she's absolutely right, because Rachel's basically saying, you know, the 1937 film, you know, it basically paraphrasing that it's like outdated. But you know what? Forget me paraphrasing. First, she said, in all honesty, it made me sad that it was taken in such a way, because I believe women can do anything, but also I believe that they can do everything, she told the Hollywood outlet. None of that makes any freaking sense.
No, it doesn't. It defeats the purpose that defeats the purpose of us having interest, disinterest, and just and having strengths and weaknesses. Like, I know as a person, I can't do everything. I don't want to do everything because I don't have the interest to do everything. And I'm perfectly okay with it. Oh my God. She's just talking to hear herself talk is what it is.
You know what? I agree with you, Erica. She just is. It's like a lot. I won't say all of the Hollywood actors, but a lot of actors will think that all they have to do is say something and we just eat it up and we won't question it. And yes, I'll admit that I'm kind of jaded because I know a lot of actors. I've dated actors. Stunt brats probably like, oh my God, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And the way that they are when the press is talking to them and the way that they are when there's no attention on them are two completely different things.
I can't wrap my head around that. I guess I'm just too much of a normie.
I kid you not when I say Los Angeles changed me. Because I cannot believe that the same person who was like, yes, this role is XYZ, blah, 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 blah. And then in a couple of minutes, they're almost about to have a freaking meltdown because they can't decide which wine they want to have for lunch. I'm like, are you for what?
I cannot wait to come into town and hang out with you and hear some of these stories. Over some cocktails because I feel like you're gonna need some.
I'm just like, the stuff that I saw, the show Entourage, that's all I'm going to say. 99.9% of that stuff is real.
I don't look cute.
It's so freaking real. I'm like, I can't believe this stuff, that I'm seeing, but this is exactly what it is. It's like, here's the microphone in your face, then the microphone's off. It's like they have no idea what it is that they're supposed to do or talk about or whatever, and just say what they think they want you. Say what you think you want to hear, which is press. I mean, they're preaching to the choir. That's what Variety is. Okay, Variety, Hollywood Reporter, Deadline. What's that freaking other one? Anyway, that's enough. But pretty much that's what it is. It's like they're preaching to the choir. But in a clip from the D23 Expo in that same year, Zegler commented on her film adaptation of the classic fairy tale being more modern. So here's what she said from back then. I just mean that it's no longer 1937, she said at the time, adding she's not going to be saved by the prince and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be and the leader her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. Do you remember any version of Snow White with her father telling her that?
No.
I don't remember that.
In fact, any version of Snow White that I remember didn't really have her dad. It didn't really showcase the king.
I thought he was dead. Wasn't he dead when this all happened?
I honestly never knew that. Growing up, just watching Disney's animated, it never mentioned if he was dead or alive. It was her stepmother. Her stepmother obviously hated her and hated her for being the fairest in the land, and it stuck to that very simple. And the only thing I can guess is that back then, because it was Disney's first. It was going to be such a big deal putting it on the big screen, and it was animated. I think the idea was to keep it simple. They were already. I don't know. I'm not. It's not a dig at Walt at all. I'm just trying to put myself in their shoes back in the 1930s. Where to keep it simple, stupid.
True.
Method. Let's just keep it, villain, princess, damsel in distress. She gets saved by the prince. They fall in love. Famous first, true love's kiss, bam, happily ever after, and it worked, and it's worked for years.
Exactly. It's all about who we care about. I mean, yeah, it'd be interesting to see her dad, but the father is not integral to the story.
Yeah.
You have the evil stepmother, you have her, you have the huntsman who was supposed to kill her and, cut her heart out and bring it back to the evil stepmother as proof. But the huntsman couldn't do it. And told her to run away. It's just those are the people who are integral. And that's all we cared about. But sorry, go ahead, dear.
Zegler, does she not go back and watch herself on screen, it wasn't even the words, it was her attitude and her tone, her body language, her facial expressions. I mean, the whole kit and caboodle communicated to everybody that, you know, there was going to be no love story. I mean, right there, quoted. The article quotes her, and then when you add her body language and her attitude, you know, yeah, it's a. Why would you want to watch that movie if you have any love and respect for the original?
Because she didn't, and she doesn't, and that was her true take on the film. I'm not going to say all, but from what I've seen with a lot of Hollyweird types, when they say something, they don't expect you to remember that. Really, what they said. They don't. They're like, what? I said that. What? No, I didn't say that. You didn't see anything. It's like they're trying to pull the Jedi mind trick on us, and we know it's not going to work at all. So that's why she's like, oh well, that's not what it. No, it's not what we meant, you know. And then goes off on this tirade about not tirade, but the whole pity, you know, pity me.
She even took a dig at her co-star, you know, the guy who was going to play the prince. So he may not even he may not even be in the movie. Who knows? And she put in the whole "it's Hollywood, baby." How the hell are you supposed to interpret those words other than, oh, well, I guess Disney is not putting in a love story because she look at the words that just came out of her mouth. Even to the point of being so dismissive and rude to her co-star like that. What are you supposed to think? And then she wants to backtrack, and her mentality, oh my gosh, there's just, you know, there's a special kind of stupid you can't fix, and she fixed that.
Completely. And compare her to like the likes of, say, oh my gosh, the actress who plays Wednesday.
Jenna Ortega? Yeah. I like her.
Yeah.
Let's hope she stays, you know, sane.
Yeah, I hope so.
With her head on her shoulders, down to earth, and just keep going the way you're going. Don't change.
And very, you know, very realistic. Yeah, down to earth. You know, if she messed up, it's like, okay, well, I could have done that, you know, a little differently. Even, I mean, say what you want about Ms. Marvel. Okay. Iman Vellani, she was delightful to hear when she would talk about stuff. And she would say, you know, hey, why don't we just, maybe Marvel should write characters that people want to see, you know, and that people can, you know, that people can relate to, you know, and listen to the fans. It's like, oh my gosh, holy crap.
Oh, wait, you mean bring common sense to the table again?
I know, right? It's absolutely crazy, but just the difference. That's why I said this variety piece, this isn't about Rachel Zegler trying to get in fans' good graces. This is about Rachel Zegler basically in so many words saying, how dare you not believe what it is that I told you?
Yeah. The article really didn't do her any justice. In my opinion.
It really
only highlighted, you know, it just highlighted all that's been put out there from her mouth.
Look at this. She said she denied allegations that Disney was going to update the love story for the modern era. The love story is very integral. A lot of people wrote that we weren't doing that storyline anymore. We were always doing that. It just wasn't what we were talking about on that day. Like, heifer, please.
That is not what you said, you blithering idiot. You legit were just... oh my God, I lost the word. You were just quoted. Yeah. And you're going to sit there and, oh, I never said that. Bullshit, girl. You were on video.
Saying that. and then tries to say that her comments were taken out of context by people who want to tear down famous women. Heifer, please.
Famous.
You're not. You're quote unquote. You're not famous. You're really not.
You're
You got an
infamous because of
opportunity.
your
Yeah,
mouth.
you're infamous. Yes, you were infamous. No one took your contents out of your comments out of context. We went based on what you said, and it wasn't too hard to figure out that you did not like the 1936 version at all.
She put her foot in her mouth and it came right out of her ass and she didn't like it. She was humiliated because people called her out and started, starting it on her, well, and on Disney, because she outed Disney for how they were gonna, the plot in the film.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're pulling this. Oh gosh, this is what I meant earlier, and I said the Twilight Zone. Yeah, you literally
Yeah.
feel like you're in the Twilight Zone.
Totally with this chick. I mean, and it gets yes, Pepper, please. Hey, Charles. But it gets worse. It gets as if she's not insulting, our intelligence enough. Variety stated Zegler's not surprised by what she sees as people's willful misunderstanding of her comments. It's par for the course for an outspoken young woman in the public eye. Oh wait. It gets better. It gets better. Hang on. The actress added, I've watched women get torn down my whole life, my whole career. We'll watch
Cry
it in
me a
the
damn
election
river,
that's
woman.
upcoming. We're going to witness that for a long time, I fear.
Cry
Oh
me
my
a river.
God.
Name me one human being who's never in their life been, torn down, male or female. What is your point? You don't know what your point is. You just want to hear yourself talk. You're trying to do damage control because you put your foot in your mouth and you're not getting anywhere.
None.
And this isn't going to help people's opinion already shaped on these shows and movies. Like the opinion's been formed. So just get over it. Sorry, I'm just going to.
Yeah, they act like women were invented in the past 10 years. Yeah. It's nothing wrong with being an outspoken young woman. Jenna Ortega is an outspoken young woman, but you know what? She's
There's a
not
difference.
insulting you.
But
Yes.
you know what? The difference is that Jenna is well spoken.
Very
She's
much
got
so.
class. Unlike hell, I'm already forgetting her name. Zegler.
Rachel.
I kind of noticed a pattern here with her. She really likes to hail New York, and she kind of turns on this New York attitude, and frankly, I find it to be just a turnoff because I understand New Yorkers tend to have that stereotype and reputation of being, very like crass and very outspoken, very much, like get out of town, get out of here, I'm walking here, but it's like you don't have you at the end of the day you choose how you behave, and she could choose her words more carefully and wisely. She could choose, like Jenna Ortega. Jenna seems to be like she tends to think before she speaks, and it shows wisdom and class. And when you're in the spotlight like that, that will take you a lot further than just popping off at the mouth. Well, I'm from New York and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, okay, well, you do realize you're on camera, right?
And here's the other thing, and I'm glad Tom brought this up. New Jersey, New York, but we do it, but not like that fool does. And that's true, because real New Yorkers be like, yeah, it's X, Y, and Z. I said what I said, even if it's the most outrageous freaking stuff. It's like, yeah, I said it. But there isn't anything endearing about her. And I think that's the other thing.
Yeah.
It's not like Gal Gadot. Yeah, I'm probably saying her last name wrong. I'm sorry. Like when she did the Imagine video, and then I think like a year or so later, she was like, "Yeah, I kind of messed that up." But she was very likable, and it was very self-depreciating humor. So people can relate to that. It's like, okay, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. But Gal has a different attitude when she talks. And I noticed she has not been talking a whole lot about this freaking film. I feel so bad for her. And not only that, this movie, and I'm trying to find out where it is, besides the fact that, the part of the set caught fire. That was God's way of basically saying this movie did not need to be made in the first place. Yes. Oh, you didn't know that about the set catching fire?
I did not know that. Oh, damn.
Yes. The set caught fire. And I remember hearing this on Cloudfish TV. Kiki Sparkle says, even God doesn't want this movie to be made. You have that going on. And then turns out that the budget exploded to over $500 million between reshoots and all that stuff. The only reason that we're finding out about how much this is, because things shot in the US, like Disney does not break that down. They don't do that. They don't expose that. But because they were shooting over in the UK, and in order to get, film money credits from the UK, you have to basically itemize what you did. So that itemization uncovered how much this cost.
Isn't that like public record over there? That's how Valiant is able to get like all the stats from over there.
Yes.
Yeah, that's freaking genius.
Yeah. If y'all weren't so freaking greedy for the UK film credits, y'all could have covered this up. But
don't give me any ideas.
I probably shouldn't. But they're too greedy. No, give us the money. Give us the money. But we have to itemize whatever. We'll be done by then. This movie was supposed to be finished. It's not finished. Not finished yet. Yeah, that's what I think. They have to, between the Acolyte, because you can't tell me the Acolyte costs like what, 230 million British pounds. Okay, British pounds, I believe. How much that cost? Compare that to how much money or the quality that you got for season 2 of House of the Dragon. Or look at Godzilla -1. That cost, I think, 13 million to make. I can't believe it. So you gotta say,
Or Sound of
going
Freedom.
on,
That was
Disney?
the one I saw.
Sound of Freedom was good. Oh my gosh. I waited till I could watch that on demand, and I paid to watch it on demand. Oh my gosh, it was great. Hey, California Dreaming. Good to see you. Good to see you. We still don't, Tina Beebe says we still don't know how much Indy 5 costs. No. You know what? I think we did. Go check Valiant's channel. I think Valiant found out.
Every week he does a breakdown of the box office stuff and the financials. You have to go, wow.
Yeah, it's all hidden in there. Hey, Moonbeam, it's hidden in the disclosure documents. Most people aren't going and digging through that stuff. It's kind of how when the whole Reimagine Tomorrow thing blew up, and I went into Disney's corporate website and started pulling up like their presentations that they would archive, because they were like, no, this whole imagine tomorrow, that's not real. That's not true. And then I find a public facing document that references Reimagine Tomorrow. Hidden in plain sight. So thank you, Moonbeam. A lot of that stuff is hidden in plain sight, but Valiant, he's got the financial background. I'm more economics. His is mostly financial. So he's used to digging through records like that on the regular. So he knows
he knows
what to find.
Dirt.
Yeah.
The little grain of sand.
There it is. And yeah, Marilyn M, they never will. There is so much bad will towards this freaking movie. Only reason I'm going to go see it is because I need to see this train wreck so I can rip it apart. Because
I'd rather watch a bootleg version of it just so it doesn't get my money.
I don't blame you. I'm probably going to use my loyalty points.
Oh, good. You don't have to give it your money. Yeah.
Yeah, because I pay
the way so you don't have to give it your money.
I know, because with Regal, I pay like one price and I get to see as many movies as I want.
Or it'll do well because it's so bad. People are going to watch to see how bad it is.
We're going on $5 night.
and then coming out and just talking about how horrible it is.
But you know what? You know what will be the real test? If you can't watch this on the 7 seas, the high seas, if this sucker isn't even worth pirating, you know it's bad. I am not suggesting anyone pirate the films. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, if it's not worth bootlegging, and that has happened with certain movies, probably like the Joker 2, which I'm so glad I didn't freaking see that darn thing. Bakunawa, I don't think so.
Will this movie be in the high seas? No, I don't think it's gonna.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think that's gonna happen. And it's Thornton. You are so right. You are so right.
With Shrek 5.
They're so gonna do that. They're gonna do the Shrek movies were trolling Disney before it was cool.
Oh yeah. I remember the first movie. Yeah, I was like, oh man, they're
dead broad off the table.
It was more subtle back then. Now it's just gotten more in your face over the years.
Absolutely.
Even Beetlejuice took a dig at Disney for crying out loud.
Oh, that was so funny. It's like, oh, we're watching something that's not Disney.
When I saw that,
and Lydia's basically like, yeah.
Oh, that was
Cinderella's dead mother.
At least it's not Disney. I was like, no, what?
Did you hear a very audible gasp in the theater when that happened?
No, I was the only one that laughed. Everybody else got it. It was like way over their heads. And the only reason why, I mean, because I, follow all you guys, and Pro and all and Valiant and all them, and I sat there and I laughed. I was the only obnoxious one laughing. People looking at me like, why is she laughing? Like, because you don't freaking get it, do you?
Well, I will tell you that much. In the theater, when they said that, people were cracking up.
Yeah, here was a dead. I was laughing at parts where nobody was laughing, and I'm like, oh my gosh, did y'all even watch the first movie? Let alone, like, do you not even catch some of these? I don't know. Maybe it was just the crowd. The theater.
It could have been.
It's just like a meh crowd. It really kind of sucked. Because if my sister had been there, we would have been rolling because there was a lot of good puns in that movie.
We were cracking up watching that movie. I went with Camera Girl, who her words were, "This better not suck."
Yeah,
she loves the Beetlejuice movie, and she totally enjoyed it. She saw that part. She was in stitch. She was laughing harder than I was. Shrek 5 is slated for 2026. Yes, and they are getting all of the band back together. And if it is half as good as Puss in Boots: The Last Wish,
That was cute. I did see that.
I enjoyed that. Oh my gosh. I can't believe that's
I'm done
Antonio
with Toy Story.
Banderas.
They need to knock it off. Jeez.
Yeah, that's Toy Story needs to freaking stop. They really, but Disney has nothing. They have nothing. I mean, they released a trailer for Moana too, which okay, it looks okay, but I mean,
Like it
really?
looks, I think it'll do okay. My only hang up was, and I had kind of heard this previously, that, Lord forbid, Moana gets, a guy in her life and, starts her own family. No, instead she's got this little sister, and the age gap between them is like what, 17, maybe 20 years?
Mm-hmm.
Because her parents aren't exactly spring chickens. Hell, they weren't even spring chickens in the first movie. And now she's got this little baby sister. And
Yeah.
it's like, and I kind of seeing a pattern with Disney where they are really just forcing themselves to not have female leads fall in love with men, or
You are
at
absolutely
all,
true.
like on any level. It's just nope, not happening. And it's really disheartening because it's just like, but I think overall, because it's Moana, and the trailer looked pretty well put together. I think for kids, I think it'll do well. Maybe not as well as the first movie, kind of like Beetlejuice, but I think it will profit. I could be completely wrong now. We can, who knows? Anything could happen.
Yeah, it's like it could make money out of curiosity, or it could be, hey, it's great one week and then it falls off a cliff. It's really going to depend on how they execute it, but I wholeheartedly agree with you. They've gone away from the traditional coming of age story, which is what this should have been, but instead they don't want to deal with relationships in any way, which
Any
is
capacity.
a
It's
total
family love, which is, fine, the familial love, you like with Frozen, it was, the sisterly love, and then but now Moana, they're going back again to the familial love, sisters, except Moana's old enough to be your mother.
Yeah, I know. I'm like,
A
oh,
little
what
weird,
the,
and I'm like, okay,
that's
no,
a
and
little strange.
I get there are families out there where, parents, do have late in life kids, very late in life kids. In fact, I'm not going to say it never happens, but it's just, but this is a movie. It's an animated
Yeah.
movie,
And when's the last time we've seen like a Disney princess movie where there
She falls in
is
love with a
like a
guy.
male love interest? It just doesn't happen. I mean, Moana was cool because the first one, I really did like that one. That was actually fun to watch, but she was like a young girl. But yeah, you're right. They don't want women to
Yeah.
they don't want women to grow up.
I think
And
Tangled. That's the only one I can come up with. That was the last princess that actually had
I would, yeah,
a guy.
I
I
love
think it was
Tangled.
Rapunzel.
Is it? Yeah, it was Tangled, and that was it. And that's why they shot the Disney Princess franchise in the foot. It used to be. It would take, I don't know how long, like at least like 90 minutes to go see a princess. So people were booking out the princess, like the buffets where you would get to meet the characters, meet all the princesses. Like they were seriously in demand. That franchise was on steroids. You couldn't keep that kind of stuff on the shelves. And certain times they would actually have like the princess and the prince. Like that was rare, but they would bring them out, and the line's even longer because everybody wants to, meet both of them. But what you have now with respect to Disney, who's in charge now at Disney, there are a bunch of people like CEOs from CBS, Oracle,
And there's
wealth management companies.
There's no real villains anymore. It's just like
No.
they're conquering like a circumstance or like a situation. And then the villain turns out to be like they go through this conversion by the end of the movie, where there was either just they were misunderstood or they went through a hardship that turned them into the whatever emotionally constipated character they were, and then they come out of it themselves too. And then there's this happily ever after where everybody is in this, like, I don't know, happy ending, and there's the way they tell a story has changed a lot. There can't be good and evil, and there can't be a heterosexual like love interest. It's like if they can't have the one or the other, well, then we're not going to have either, because they know they can't do the LGBT thing. They know that's not going to sell, but then they don't want to do the heterosexual thing either.
No.
So what's left? Oh, we'll just throw in some siblings and,
I mean, it's like I'll even go back to, Puss in Boots, the last wish, Puss in Boots, so arrogant things. Well, I got like 7 lives left.
To find out he's down in his last
one. And he just gives up on life. And then, of course, he runs into Kitty's soft paws again. No, I left you at the altar. No, I left you at the altar. And by the end of the movie,
it was so cute. I mean, they bickered and everything, but it was
great because they weren't doing it, or she wasn't doing it to emasculate him.
Yeah, exactly.
You could see she was doing it because she did love him, but didn't appreciate being screwed over because he wasn't there. So you could tell she loved him. You could tell he loved her, but it's like I'm so focused on this last life, that I have, and what happens to him at the end. And he tells her, you know what, I'm sorry, I'm not the guy you thought I was. And she basically said, I don't like that guy. I like this guy, now. But you see that journey, and that's what people want to see. But then again, Universal has storytellers, and that's the difference.
They
say what really you want to about Despicable Me. Every movie, that thing makes money. Oh my gosh. So that was a great movie on a tons of levels. Yeah, I think it's on Peacock, I think now, but if you can watch it on one of the streaming no, I think it's on Netflix now. It's making the rounds. Check out Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. That movie had no right being as good as it was.
I think it was Netflix is what I watched it on. I was like, I'm finally going to get around to watching this movie because it's been on my bucket list for a couple
my gosh,
years. I'm like,
I loved it. It was great. And yes, Universal has all the talent now. Yeah, they've got it. Illumination. It's like they're just printing money. Shrek 5 coming, and they've got the original cast all back together again.
But Universal hasn't ticked off, the nuclear family.
Mm-hmm.
They have that core audience now that Disney's, kicked to the curb.
Yep. Exactly. Cynthia Carter says, we bought Puss in Boots: The Last Wish as soon as it came out. Our family loves it. I love it so much. The whole Puss in Boots franchise should not have been as good as it was. And I swear, Antonio Banderas had way too much fun doing that movie. First of all, thank you, Abu Nas. Thank you so very much for the $10 super chat, my dear. I so do appreciate it. Folks, you got to check out Abu Nas's album Security Concepts. You can get it on I think it's on SoundCloud or Spotify. Either way, go to his channel because that's where all that stuff is. It is hot. If you are tired of the mumble rappers, Abu's got the back in the day good vibe, This popped in to show love to my beloved producer. Thank you. Praying for you to stay safe out there. I'm loving how savage you are on Twitter right now.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, thank you.
Man.
Keep it up. Much love to you, babe. Rock on. Thank you. Yeah, I love slitting throats in the middle of the night.
I love the stuff that you post. I was like, oh, there she goes again. Oh, she got another one.
Yeah. I think what is it? I have to set the counter back to 0 days since I've been called racist. Oh, thank you, Abu. Thank you so much for that $10 super chat, my dear. I so sure do appreciate. I appreciate all the love, all the support. You guys are amazing. I never thought that I would wind up doing any of this the way that I've been doing it, and you guys bless me so much doing this. I so do appreciate it. So speaking. And first of all, thank you, Bloodline JP, for subscribing. I appreciate that. And because of how large of them life you, yes. Oh my gosh, Antonio Banderas is pushing boots. Oh my goodness, that's so freaking funny. I love it. But speaking of growing channels, you gotta subscribe to Erica's channel. Hang in with Erica and Rob. What do you have going on, my dear? Let folks know about.
Well, I just posted a new video. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago? On part 2 of our behind the scenes of our Halloween setup here at the house.
Ooh, I know what I'm watching.
And I'm working on part 3. My son's best friend flies back here from Texas. I've missed her greatly because she's like a daughter to me. So we're chatting on Instagram to get all of our ducks together for Halloween. Her and some of their other friends are coming over, and I want to get footage of all of us planning and stuff. So she gets in this week. But anyway, I've only got one little snippet of part 3 filmed. But when she gets into town, I'd imagine this weekend we'll hopefully be seeing her. Anyway, so it's mostly Halloween because this is our biggest thing of the year. And that's really it. Videos are kind of slow to come out because I'm juggling, I'm getting things prepped and trying to, film and edit as I can, and that is very easily put on the back burner because I get tunnel vision and I'm just like decorate and clean.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter how much I clean and then nothing gets clean when you're doing projects. You're just moving the dust. You're just rearranging the
bags of stuff that I have. I've got craft stuff. I've got decorating stuff. I've got
crafts. It's
computer building parts.
I can't put everything out on the lawn or outside because the winds will knock it around because we get really high winds on the hill where we live. And then we still have grass out in the front, and I'd have to go out there and mow the yard at least one more time before Halloween before I don't have to deal with it until like April. So it's just not even worth putting more decorations out until almost the week of Halloween. But I do want to live stream Halloween this year. Since trick-or-treating here in Germany, in case you guys didn't know, we're in Germany. My husband worked for the DOD. And we're over in the if you know Ramstein Air Base, that's where we're at. So I figured, well, if it's 5 p.m. here in Germany and Eastern time, it's like what, 11 a.m. back home in Florida? So
yes. That's about right.
So I was like,
5 hours, right?
I was like, we could theoretically live stream, and if any of you guys in the States want to see what it's like trick-or-treating here, it'd be kind of cool to share that. Hopefully the internet would work because what I'm up against is my phone data, which is T-Mobile USA, and in the house we have like DSL speeds. So welcome to Europe. They are not on the same speed as in the US. And I've never live streamed. I have no clue what I'm doing. So we'll see how this goes. But I really would like to share it live with everybody, and y'all get to see like the street and see some of the neighborhood, and then the freaking crazy crowd. We get like 3,000 trick-or-treaters up here. That's how popular our village is for it.
All right. Well, hopefully we can get you live streaming. We're gonna be talking about that. About how to get Erica up live streaming, because I would love to see her like Halloween preps and everything that she's got going on. So that would be absolutely fabulous. Folks, please do make sure you are subscribed to Erica. I've got her link to her channel down in the description box, along with the link to follow the Bradley's Fun, Ron's channel as well, so you can subscribe to him. Also, remember, I have my affiliate code down there. If you click through the affiliate code to Magic Candle Company and you do an order on Magic Candle Company, I get a little bit of a commission. And for October, any of the commissions paid out for me will be donated to Samaritan's Purse. So please do, if you're so inclined to order that way. Awesome company. I've used their products for, I want to say, probably like 2 years. They are addictive. I'm not going to lie. They freaking are.
I can't wait to get my shipment, because I ordered the Haunted Mansion set, and that is exactly what I want in the front foyer smelling like. So as the guests come up to the foyer, and so we know 2 things. You got trick-or-treating in the front, but then backstage back here where I'm at is going to be like our annual Halloween party. So there's a whole lot going on at the same time. It's like this, we're entertaining in the front, but then there's a party in the back going on too.
Yes, please do check out Magic Candle Company. I will probably be, I keep saying I'm going to do this, but just like recommendations for like some of the scents, if you don't know which ones you should buy or which ones you should try or whatever. I'll eventually be coming out with some shorts about that, so you guys can order. And yes, I'm doing fine. I'm safe where I am. I am in a building that's constructed to withstand a Cat 4 hurricane. So doing good. Got all my supplies and everything, but it's very easy to do when you do your preparation ahead of time. So, you're not fighting with people in the Walmart trying to get the last container of Fiji water because everything else is sold out. Except for Dasani. Nobody freaking wants that Dasani water at all. Nobody freaking wants it. So thank you guys so much for joining us here in the Spice Lounge. We love talking with all of you. Thank you so much, Erica, for being on the panel. Thank you, Ron, for popping in. And most importantly, thank you guys for being here and watching, whether it's live or on the replay. Thank you for all the chats, super chats, hitting the like button, spreading the word, because we keep it unbiased and hot and spicy over here on the channel. You guys take care, stay safe, and we will see you next time. Bye.